Hello, this is Kim from Midnight Whispers Tarot, and I pulled a card today, and we're going to learn this card. The card I pulled today is the reverse. I'm not sure if you can see that. Five of Swords. Let's look at it upright. Upright, we got a guy who has two swords in one hand and one sword in the other hand. And two people walking away with two swords on the floor. We got jagged clouds. We got a dark blue sky. So we're going to talk about this. Okay. The astrological sign is Venus in Aquarius. The element is air. And numerology is 5, which means challenges, conflict. The key words to this card is mind games, hostility, misfortune, losses, trouble, mourning, pain, dejection, sorrows, funeral, distress, dismay, remorse, vengeance, and it's also bad for new ventures if this card shows up. It also has past resentments, exposure, deceit, regret, and resentment. Reverse, this card has painful qualities to it. The emphasis can shift on that, though. Reversed extends this to the despair felt afterwards. Taken alone, this card can show true balance of life. Break it down into, experiences into parts, and therefore, you distort and exaggerate. Conflict is unpleasant for everyone. If you find yourself on the losing end, you can still walk away with dignity. Releasing and letting go of grudges. Lay the past to rest and release old grudges so that you can move on. Try to focus on reaching a compromise after a conflict. I know that's hard to do. You might feel intuitively guided to forgive someone and create closure. You can forgive someone. That don't mean you have to talk to them again. You don't have to speak directly to the person. You can just forgive them in your heart. And actually, it does you more good than them, okay? Because they're not worried about your hate. It is more important to maintain peace than to be right. When the Five of Swords appears, the seeker who gets the card they may experience defeat in their life. They're feeling defeated, deflated, And I'll get more into that later. The seeker should accept the minor defeat and move on. Even though this is a hard card, it's a reversal, and it kind of has the same meanings, both upright and reversed. Just move away from the conflict as far away as possible. Put distance between really. That's my dog shaking. He's scratching. Put distance between yourself and whatever the subject matter is to avoid it, to avoid a far more serious and greater harm that could occur if you stay close to the conflict. The Five of Swords reverse is contrition or contrition. I've never figured out how to say that word, and I'm Catholic, and I know that I should know that word. Recompense, a sense of penance for past bad acts and transgressions. Some tarot readers may say that upright, the meaning of the card, follows the seeker, the querent, whether you're reading for yourself or someone else, as the figure in the foreground holding the swords. But in reverse, the meaning of the card follows the seeker, the querent, the reader, the one wanting the reading for, the one that's wanting the reading, as the figures in the background walk, and they're walking away from the one who has taken unfair advantage of the seeker. You basically need to follow your intuition on this, okay? Let's go up a little bit. However you look at the card, use your intuition on what it means. The Five of Swords reversed is like a mourning card, you know, like we mourn after a burial. The word bury means to hide or protect, the opposite of salvage. So a reversal might indicate the presence of underlying motivational factors. Sorry, I had to throw something at my dog to make him quit. He's not my dog. He's my son's dog, but he stays with me. I don't know why. Maybe my bed's more comfortable. The reversal might indicate the presence of underlying motivational factors. Like, for instance, when a person experiences unbearable pain, there may be a split in personality with a subpersonality emerging like the bully in the foreground. And he's a bully. He has a menacing look on his face. And it's not like he did this unfairly. Okay? He just did it to be a jerk. Okay? He did it because he could do it. He just wanted to win, not be rewarded. He just wanted to take the swords. That's what he wanted to do. And we're going to put him upside down because that's how he felt. Another motivating factor is abstract idealism that values humanistic principles over individuals. Yeah, got it. I'm very sorry about that. I'm still recovering from being in the hospital, and I'm kind of resting. I apologize for my dog. Well, my son's dog. I'm running out of things to throw at him. When you've been victimized, the injured parts retreat. And you bury them deep in your psyche. Another motivating factor could possibly be abstract idealism that values humanistic principles over individuals. You might be unsympathetic to others if they are unrelated to your mission. An abstract belief, like patriotism, may allow you to focus on a truth, so to speak, problem or task, despite it causing anguish to others. Bury the hatchet. Put an end to the conflict or disagreement. These words, these are words that are associated with this card. Words that start with R-E. Remorse, regret, revocation, and reparation. When the air clears, look to what you can salvage. Rather than gathering swords, it can be an occasion for gathering people, making amends, repairing rifts, or determining obligation and liability. This card reflects potential for spiritual growth after loss and sorrow. Traditional meanings also focus on the DIS: distress, dismay, disdain. When projected onto others, you may feel they are trying to thwart your endeavors. On the other hand, you may refuse to feel defeated. I think we've all been there, especially if you're a warrior, which is my other channel that I need to get working on, Warriors at Surviving, because I've survived lots of wars. And a lot of other people. I'm not the only one. I need to get into that. I need to get back to that. Okay. Again, no new ventures when this card shows up. It's kind of a bad omen. Well, my cat decided to jump over here. Mr. Jinx, you going to help with the reading? Whether this card is upright or reversed, again, don't start any new ventures if you get this card in a spread. Wait till the air's cleared. This card suggests you need to resolve some bothersome issues. Treachery or wrongdoing may be revealed. From the shamanic perspective, this can indicate either the splitting away of parts of the soul or a soul wandering after death. Either case, the being may need assistance. You know what? Rather than admitting defeat, you may be clinging to the hope of victory. And you might be in denial about where things truly stand. You might want to take a good look at what's going on around you. And see the truth. You know the truth. The truth is already inside of you. Sometimes you need a little nudge like tarot or a psychic or a medium or a dream or, confiding in a friend just to get that little push. You're afraid to admit to past mistakes. And you don't want to be criticized. Things are likely to get worse. It is probably going to be a painful blow to your ego. But it's best that you own up to your mistakes now and or admit that you've been betrayed. And we've all been there. The guy who told us he'd do anything for us, would love us unconditionally, had our backs. And then they didn't have our backs. They walked away. Or they continued doing behavior that they knew was hurting you and not being respectful to you. And you had enough and you just said, this is it. Okay? And that we've been there. We're going to talk about the imagery in this card. It shows a young man who's holding 3 swords, 2 hoisted proudly at his shoulders and 1 held downward by the hilt, as if to stake his territory. 2 swords are cast down on the beach, surrounded by the retreating figures. Rather than having dignity in victory, however, the young man appears to be grinning. Yeah, he's got a menacing look on his face. Perhaps taking sadistic pleasure in his opponent's defeat. The defeated figures here that are going back, see them? Have their backs to us. They're unable to face their challenger again. And the one on the right has his hands to his face in shame. Let me see if we can pick that. Yeah, that one right there. He has his, holding his hand up to his face in shame. fix my light here. Does that work better? Yeah, that works a lot better. The clouds tell the story of the conflict that has just ended. See, these clouds are jagged clouds. They got gray on them. Stormy clouds. They're gray, they're slashed, like torn fabric. The youth wears, turn them up right so you can see, red for energy and vitality, and green, the color of nature. This tells us about his personality. Oops, sorry. Red reflects his energy and ego, and green his sense of natural entitlement. Not just to take his challengers' weapons, but to enjoy their humiliation. Yeah, this is a devious little, I'm not going to say the word, but my friends know exactly what I would call him. And it's not one for YouTube, okay? Yeah, he's a little MFer. And the green can also symbolize his greenness in the ways of the world. He's not learned his karmic lesson about what goes around comes around. And if we see ourselves as the victims, we can interpret the red and green as symbols of growth and the wisdom gained from the experience of the conflict. This links with the card's number 5, the number of mankind, and our physical experiences on the earth plane. 5 is also the quintessence or fifth element in alchemy. In the Five of Swords, the quintessence is experience, or what we gain from the aftermath of battle. Symbolized on this card by the blue sky behind the slashed clouds and the calm waters of the blue sea. Yeah, the blue sea is back through here. The storm is abating. It's ending. Okay, when we go to the Kabbalistic tree of life, the sphere associated with this card, and I know I'm going to screw this up, and I apologize to my Jewish stepfather in heaven, right? May he rest in peace. And my former Jewish boyfriends. I know I'm going to screw it up. Jibura. Jibura, it means power, which means conflict and judgment. It reveals the need for power and control, the impetus behind the battle. Jibura is ruled by the planet Mars, known as the Warbringer. The astrological associations of Venus in Aquarius gives the meaning of idealism. One of Aquarius's attributes was sensitive, romantic Venus. One interpretation is it could be unconventional choices. It may also reveal a clash of fantasy and pragmatism. I can't talk. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Um, it's reflected in the card's upright position. Meaning to retreat when battle is done rather than to continue to fight in a war that cannot be won. So, that's our little lesson for today. Um, and here's a little bit more I'm going to give you. Five of Swords reversed, making amends to situations, forgiveness and acceptance, understanding what is valuable, fighting a losing battle, old regrets, trauma, or memories appearing, feeling remorse, carrying guilt or burdens, avoid conflict, arguments, anger, or explosive choices, regretting a situation, battle, or conflict, but opportunity to move on without any regrets, an invitation to apologize, healing sour relationships, learn from your mistakes, conflict or issues following you, unresolved emotional conflict needing resolution, relief of stress and baggage, mutual breakup or getting back together, healing. So that's our card for the day. And if it resonates with you, that's great. Give a like, share, subscribe. And I love my few viewers that I have. And I hope you're enjoying the content. I'll be back with another. I'm going to do a 3-card spread in a minute, okay? Uh, thank you.